And welcome to this video about using audiobooks to help your kids learn how to read. One of the questions that I get asked a lot as a homeschool parent is whether or not audiobooks count for homeschooling. And so today in this video, I want to share my thoughts about that. Please go ahead and hit like on the video, and if you haven't had a chance yet, subscribe to the channel so that you'll get notified whenever a new video is released. Okay, so today I want to share my thoughts on the big question: do audiobooks count for homeschooling? And I think the answer to that in most cases is yes, but I want to share my caveat on that as well today. So first of all, when you're thinking about using audiobooks in your homeschool, it's really important to consider your goals for your child. If your goal for your child is to help them become a stronger reader, then I think that audiobooks could have their place, but in general, it's better to give your kids a paper book. It's important when your kids are learning how to read that you're teaching them how to read with actual books and not with audiobooks. However, audiobooks can play a part in helping your child learn how to read as well. If you get an audiobook and a paper book of the same story, and then have your child follow along while the audiobook reads to them, this can be a valuable way for them to develop reading skills. You can ask your child to touch the words in the story as the audiobook reads them out loud. And this can be a good way for kids to practice their reading in sort of a fun or different environment. So that's one way that you can use audiobooks if your kids are learning how to read. But in general, audiobooks really work well for kids that are a little bit older and already have those independent reading skills. And if your kid is older and has independent reading skills, and your goal is to expose them to more literature, then I think audiobooks totally do count for that. Because if your goal is just exposure to the literature, then it really doesn't matter if your child is reading the book independently or if an audiobook is reading it out loud to them. And in fact, audiobooks can be a great resource for kids that are a little bit older that are struggling as readers, but are still needing that exposure to the literature, because you can use the audiobook as an opportunity to give them access to books that maybe they couldn't read on their own. This is a really great way to help kids that are older and still struggling with reading to be able to experience all of the books that they need to, even if they aren't as advanced as a reader. So if you're trying to just expose your kids to literature, then yes, definitely use audiobooks. And if your child is a struggling reader, then audiobooks can be a great tool to help them be exposed to more. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments about whether or not audiobooks should count for homeschool.